Hello there and welcome to part 2 of chapter 2, sections 1 and 2. We just finished solving this problem in the last video here and I ran out of time. So I want you to add one piece to this, and I know you're probably at the very bottom of that note page. Do the best you can if you can squeeze it in here, because I think this is so important that you really understand that whenever we solve for a variable, you can always check it in algebra. And this was actually a place where I started to prefer math tests when I realized how I could check my answers. I want to make sure you understand how that works. We came up with this solution, 1x equals 35. And the original equation was 4/5 times x equals 28. So if I have the right answer there, if this is the right solution, that means if I take that number and replace it in there, I should get 28, which is what I started with. So I'm going to check it by multiplying 4/5 times 35. Now remember, that's 35 over 1. And I want to see if that actually does work out to be 28. Well, if I multiply my fractions, hopefully you remember that you can reduce the common factor out. You can take out the common factor of 5 there. 5 goes into 5 once, goes into 35 7 times. 4 times 7 equals 28. Since I got 28, guess what? I can smile because I'm happy. That's the answer. So the answer is 35. My check proves to me that I got the answer right. I can relax, take a deep breath, and move on because I got it right. All right, that's the bottom of your first page of notes. Turn on over to your next page here, and we'll look at now a two-step equation, which is really the section 2-2, and that begins on page 89 in your book, or at least an example like this is on page 89. I put that on there in case you wanted to see another example. Like this type here, it's a place in the book that you can refer to. So let's take a look at this and let's talk about what you need to do. Maybe you know how to do this already. Hopefully you do. If not, I'm going to review it right now because this is a pretty key piece for us that very soon we should be able to solve two-step equations pretty fast. All right, the question that we're going to work on is 3x minus 4 equals 11. We want to solve that. So we do the solving in the middle here. So I'm going to, again, recopy 3x minus 4 equals 11. I'm going to do the work here, and I'm going to do the explanation over here. What I'm going to do over here is I'm going to explain the steps as I go along. So write the word steps right there. And as we work the problem out, I'll explain it to you here. There's basically a couple things you can do anytime you have a two-step equation. Two-step means that there's two things happening to the variable. It's being multiplied, in this case by 3. It's also being subtracted by 4. So we have to undo both of those things. The first step in solving, I'm going to move that down to this line here. The first step in solving an equation is to undo the addition, I'll just say add or slash subtraction by doing the opposite. Now, if you can fit that all in one line, it'll actually work out better for you. I just can't, again, because of the size of my ink here. So I'm going to show you that step right here. I notice that it's subtracting 4. Always want to undo that first. So since it's subtracting 4, I'm going to add 4. And you have to do that to both sides. Again, we're working down the page. We want to do the math down the paper. When I subtract the 4, here's what I'm doing. I'm going minus 4. Now, we can think of that as plus negative 4, and you actually should. Minus 4 is the same thing as plus negative 4. Negative 4 plus 4, that's 0, so that is now gone. I added that together. Negative 4 plus 4, 0, gone. Bye, see ya. See you later, negative 4. But I still have this 3x. He is still there, so he has to stay because he hasn't gone away. So that became 0. My equal sign is right underneath. Please keep your equal sign in a straight line. If you want to do little dots down your paper, if that helps you, do that, but keep them lined up. And then over here, I'm going to do this math. 11 plus 4, that's 15. Okay, so that's always first. You'll always undo the addition and subtraction. Second thing, after you undo addition and subtraction in a two-step equation, I'll change colors here, hopefully that'll help, you undo the multiplication or division? By doing the opposite operation. You can just say by using the opposite or by using the reciprocal, like we just saw in the previous question. If it's a fraction times the variable, we would multiply the reciprocal. So in this particular question right here, I'm going to do that. I'm going to show you how to do that here. 3x, it's 3 times x, so I divide by 3. And you have to hit both sides. All right, 3, and so here's what happens. See this 3 over 3 right here, 3 divided by 3? Well, what's 3 divided by 3 equal? 1. 1x. That 3 over 3 became 1. That's the game, remember? That's the whole game. Equal sign is still there in your straight line. 15 divided by 3, bada bing, bada boom, it's 5. So we get 1x equals 5. All right, sounds easy enough, but you know what? If you're just a little bit nervous, and I think you should be able to squeeze this in your notes, hopefully we can check it right here. Let's show that. Check. We came up with 1x equals 5, so that means I'm going to stick 5 in for that x. 3 times 5 minus 4 should come out to be 11 if I got the right answer. That's 15 minus 4. Guess what? It's 11. Guess what? I'm happy. Worthy of a smiley face right there. You want to do that check. You'd be very foolish not to at least check your answers on a calculator anytime you take a math test when you can do that. All right, let's go on to the next one. You are now on page 3. I'm sorry, on number 3, the second page in your notes. And I have to, again, go to a new page because I just can't fit it all on. And you get this interesting looking question. Like I said, it's number 3. I think that's written on your paper there. You have 6 equals x divided by 7 minus 3. All right, this is a two-step equation as well. Look, you have division happening to x, and you have subtraction happening to x. So let's copy down the question over here. 6 equals x minus 7. I'm sorry, x divided by 7 minus 3. Just recopy the question exactly. I'll show you why we do that after this question is done. All right, so step 1, you want to undo the addition, right? So I'm going to add 3. Okay, we always undo the addition first. And again, I like to think of this minus 3 is the same thing as plus negative 3. So I'm going to add 3 to this. And you have to do it to both sides. Keep the equal sign lined up. 6 plus 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Over here, that is 0, and you're left with x divided by 7. Okay, now you have 9 is equal to x divided by 7. So the second step to undo this is to, in this case, you're going to multiply by 7. Why multiply 7? Because it's being divided by 7. So let's change colors here just for fun to show the action that I'm going to do to both sides times 7 times 7. All right, you multiply this 7 right here, those 7s cancel out. You multiply 7 times 9 right here, you get 63. 63, look at my equal sign, straight line. 63 equals 1x. That's the game. All right. Should we check it? You're darn right we should. Let's check it here. That means, okay, if I got 63, so I'm going to replace 63 with the x, and we're going to go 63 divide by 7 minus 3, and we're going to see if that all works out to be equal to, what do I want to equal to? 6 up here from the original equation. All right, 63 divided by 7 is 9. And 9 minus 3, guess what? I got it, 6. I'm happy again. You got it. It's the beautiful thing about math. There's when you start to be able to check your answers and yeah, you can rock and roll and go to sleep relaxed. We are at 9 minutes, about 9.5 minutes here. I've got 2 questions to do that are going to take a bit of time. So I'm going to have to do a part 3. It should be a shortened one for you. So get your stuff down and we'll wrap it up in the next video.